Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. Today, let's make some chocolate cupcakes and vanilla cupcakes, and of course, some vanilla buttercream for a cute 2-year-old's birthday. So here's the mess so far. So far what I've done is I have my eggs at room temperature, my buttermilk at room temperature. What I used is the buttermilk culture. Here is what I used. It's just a cultured buttermilk blend that you mix with water. What I did is I took a half of a cup of water and I mixed with 2 tablespoons and just let it sit there till it got to room temperature. Okay, so then in here, what I did is I mixed up 3/4 a cup of all-purpose flour right here. I did a half cup of unsweetened cocoa powder right there. And then I did 3/4 a teaspoon baking powder, half a teaspoon baking soda, 1/4 a teaspoon of salt, and that's all in there. I just whisked it up there, and now let's get into everything else. So what we're doing is we're gonna mix together the rest of our ingredients. So we have our 2 eggs. We're just gonna put those right in, and these are room temperature. And we need half a cup of sugar, half a cup of brown sugar, going to carefully, oh no, as I was saying that I made a mess. Okay, there's that. All right, we need 1/3 cup of oil, or 6 tablespoons. I'm using canola oil. You can use vegetable oil, whichever you would prefer. 4, 5, 6 tablespoons, or 1/3 cup. And now we need 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Okay, so this is a half, so I'm going to do 4. And again, I don't really measure. I always do a ton. What we will do is just mix that up. Okay, so now it's just as simple as half the dry ingredients, half the wet, just slowly incorporate, and then we're done. Okay, so we do half the dry. Let's get that in there. Okay, that's all mixed up. Now let's do half the wet. Well, that was a little bit more. No, that was 1/4 cup. Okay, we're gonna let that go for a second here. And then we will take a spatula and wipe down the sides and then do the rest. My big lump spatula, of course. Okay, now let's do the rest of the dry. Slowly so you don't get covered in flour and cocoa powder. Here it is, it's done. Now all we're going to do is put it into our tin that already has the cupcake liners in it, and then we'll put it in the oven. As much as I don't want you to see my mess over there, this is real life. Okay, literally as simple as if you do it this way, you're gonna make a mess. It doesn't really bother me having to clean up the little crunchy parts because they come off pretty easy. Okay, here they are. Let's stick them in the oven. All right, we'll check back in 17 minutes. Okay, so let's go on to the confetti sprinkle cupcake. So I just have my recipe here. This is the one I use. I will put it all down in the description box below for you. This is from Sally's Baking Addiction. The other one I used for the chocolate was from Sally's Baking Addiction as well, the super moist chocolate cupcakes. I have used these time and time again, tried and true, love these recipes so much. So we're just gonna get everything ready while the other cupcakes are baking. I'm a little bit behind. That's all right, life happens. So 1 3/4 cup cake flour. So this is the cake flour I use. It looks a little beat up and there's a sticker on it because I actually usually get mine from the Amish discount stores just because it's so much cheaper and it's still good. Okay, so 1 3/4 cup cake flour. I don't know how much is in here. I don't think this is gonna get us, no, it won't. Let's see how much this will get us here. I'm just gonna stick this right in here and dump it in here. Even though this is the bowl we're putting it in. Okay, so there's 1 cup here. So let's, and of course I'm making a mess. Okay, so there's our 1 cup. Okay, so I know I said I'm baking these for a 2-year-old's birthday. I don't have a 2-year-old. My cousin's daughter turned 2 earlier this week, so she's, what, my 2nd cousin. She's the cutest little girl. She's a little daredevil. That little girl's probably going to have some sort of broken bone or some sort of stitches or something by the time she's 4. Guarantee it. She is just her parents' children, and I love it. She is not scared of anything. She just goes for it, and my kids will probably be like that too, so I love it. Okay, so now we need 3/4 cup. This is a half. I don't have a 3/4 cup for some reason in this measuring cup piece set. I actually got these from my boyfriend's mom. I love them. And it doesn't bother me doing a half and a 1/4. Okay, so there's our 1 3/4 cup of cake flour. I have tried all-purpose flour with this recipe. Don't do it. Use cake flour. This is, again, the one I use. Use it, use it, use it. All right, since it's just real over here, we're just everywhere. Okay, 3/4 teaspoon baking powder. You'd think as many times if I had made this, I would have this memorized. I don't. Okay, so this is a 1/4, so I'm just gonna do 3 of these. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Now we need a 1/4 teaspoon baking soda. Okay, there's our 1/4 teaspoon. And a 1/4 teaspoon salt. I'm actually going to omit the salt because I am using salted sweet cream butter. If you're using unsalted, make sure you do use your salt. But because I'm using salted, I'm not adding more salt. Okay, so that is all we need in this 1 bowl. So we're just going to throw that to the side. Pick up our mess a little bit. My strings are in the way. This was not the best shirt to pick. Now what we need to do is, oh shoot, our eggs that have been sitting here. We need 3 egg whites at room temperature. So let's do that. They're not probably going to be at room temperature, and that is completely my fault. Done it before with not completely room temperature eggs, and it worked out just fine. Okay, so there's 1. If you're an overachiever, unlike me, you can keep your yolks and use that. I'm not going to do that because knowing me, I'll forget about them. Okay, there's 2. Oh, I hope this fits in here. If not, we're just going to make another mess, just like I did all over the counter. Okay, it's super close. That's all right. We'll take it. Oh, let's get these out. Okay. Taking you with me. Oops, kind of a shaky ride. Okay. Perfect. Okay, let's get a toothpick here, a couple. I'm gonna pull these out. Okay, let's check it with one of these toothpicks here. It came out, they're done. Okay, so I'm gonna let these sit just for like 2 or 3 minutes just to cool down enough so I can touch them and move them onto my cooling rack here. And then let's keep going on the vanilla cupcakes. So in here I have my ½ cup of butter or 1 stick, and we're gonna add our 1 cup of granulated sugar, and we're just going to cream this together for about 2 minutes. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to scrape down the sides of the bowl and add our 3 egg whites and our 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Sometimes it's easier just to do this quick. Okay. Okay, 3 egg whites in. This is a 1 teaspoon, so I'm going to do just a little bit over because, again, I don't really measure vanilla. Okay, 2. We're just going to mix that up until it's combined. Open this up and add our ½ cup of sour cream. All right, now we're going to mix that in until it's combined, and then we will add in our dry ingredients. All right, let's add the dry ingredients and not make a mess here. Oh, I spoke too soon. Okay, mix that up, start it slowly so you don't get a flour shower everywhere, and then we will slowly pour in our ½ cup of whole milk. Again, room temperature. Okay, that is combined here, so now we're going to turn it as low as my mixer goes and slowly pour in our milk. Okay, we're just gonna let that go for a second. I'm gonna turn it up just a tiny bit faster. Get that all incorporated here. And then once it's done, this is where you would mix in your sprinkles. I'm not doing that today. I just use this recipe without the sprinkles. Let's put our cupcake liners in here. All right, 19 minutes. Let's get our cooled cupcakes in our box here. All right, adjusting. So let's take these out. Oops, I just fogged you up. Stay back, Sass. Good girl, Stella. Stay back. Back, back. Good girl. Okay, now we're gonna try these with a Q-tip, or a Q-tip, my goodness. Toothpick came out clean. All right, same thing. I'm gonna let these cool for a few minutes on here, move them to here. All right, guys, that is it for today. All I'm going to do is let those cool, put them on a cooling rack. Again, let them cool for a while, put them in the box. They're gonna sit until tomorrow. Tomorrow, I will come back and make the buttercream frosting and frost them with you. Let's start with the buttercream. All we have to do is make the buttercream, frost the cupcakes, and we're done with our frozen themed cupcakes. Let's go ahead and get started. So in our mixer, we want 4 sticks of butter. If you're only doing 1 batch, you only need 2. I am doubling this, so that's why I need 4. So let's get those added in here. Okay, now all we're going to do is beat this butter until it's nice and fluffy. There is that. We'll come back here in a second. Okay, our butter is nice and fluffy, so let's go ahead and turn this off, and we are going to just scrape down the sides. All right, now that we did that, we will add our wet ingredients. So we will add a 1/2 cup of heavy whipping cream. If you're only doing 1, you only do a 1/4. So I'm going to add that in. I'm just going to slowly mix that in here. And I will put the recipe for 1 batch down in the description box below. Then we need 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Again, I don't really measure vanilla. I go way over what I need. So that's probably 2.5 or 3 there. Okay, now we're just gonna get this all nice and mixed up. Okay, now comes the fun part where I usually make a huge mess. So we are going to add roughly, it says for 4 cups for 1 batch. I usually do for 2 batches, I do just under, so I probably will only do about 7. We will see. So let's go ahead and start adding that. All right, let's add our first cup. I'm just gonna dump that in there here, and then we'll slowly incorporate these. Okay, that is about good. So let's add the rest here. And you're slowly gonna do this. Don't add in all of it at once here. Okay, so here's cup 2. What it looks like here. I know it's hard to see with that shield on. Okay, that's pretty good. Let's shut it off and add a 3rd cup. And then you just keep repeating this. All right, there we go. It is all done. So now let's just scrape down the sides, get everything in the bowl here, and then we will split it up and color it. Okay, now that we have all of our buttercream right in here, let's go ahead and split them between the 2 bowls so I can go ahead and do my 2 different colors. I will be doing blue and purple as it is a frozen theme. So let's go ahead and just divvy it up the best we can. About right. Okay. And if there's a little more, it doesn't have to be perfect. I could get my scale out and weigh it perfectly and have it perfect amounts. I'm not doing that today. So for our colors, I use the Color Right by Wilton. I love these colors. I've used them since I started baking, since I started having a love for baking. I bought these. I love them. So I think what we're going to do for our colors is we are going to do this blue, so 15 blues roughly, and then we're going to do, I think, this purple. So we're going to do 20 pinks and 2 blues. So let's start with the blue in this one here. Okay, so for the blue, we just need the blue coloring, so let's go ahead and get that out. It's in here somewhere. Okay, here is blue. So we need roughly 15 of these. So let's go ahead and do that. And be very careful if you're worried about getting this on you, or if you're working with kids, just put gloves on because this will stain. So let's do 1, 2, 3, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. All right, let's try that and see what it looks like. So literally just mix it up. Make sure there's no white pieces. I already got some on my finger. I'm gonna probably get messy with this. It's all right. Okay, and if you have more muscles than me, it's probably a little bit easier, but after about now, my poor arms die out. Okay, so pretty much what I want to do is I don't want to see any white bits. I want to see none of that. So I just kind of scrape down the sides of the bowl and make sure everything's really incorporated. There's some on the bottom here, it looks like. You could mix this up in your stand mixer too, but I just find this easier, especially because usually most of the time I'm doing different colors. So it's just easier to do it by hand and not have to clean my different attachments, which I think I have double attachments, so I don't know why I think this is easier. Okay, and then once you kind of get to this stage where it's pretty much all incorporated, you just kind of look at the color and go, okay, am I happy with it? Am I not happy with it? Okay, I am actually really happy with this color, so all I'm going to do is just set this aside and let's work on the purple. So we were going to do the purple, that is this one. So that is the, looks like 20 pink and 2 blue. So we have our blue out. That's red. Do I have pink anymore? Uh-oh. That's orange. Okay, I think I'm out of pink. Okay, it's not gonna work. It's coming together just a nasty color. So we're just going to scratch that. And I'm just gonna have to make a whole new batch of buttercream and go get some pink food coloring. So let me figure out plan B. Okay, so crisis averted. I have a new batch of buttercream because apparently I need to go back to elementary school and art class and relearn the color wheel because I definitely made brown. So I actually went and purchased a bottle of the Color Right pink. So it's the same system, just they sell it in the pack or separately. I also bought a red because apparently I'm out of red as well. Now, if I would have remembered when I used the last of it to write it down, go pick these up, wouldn't have had these issues. Lesson learned. But I always remind myself that, hey, you are blessed enough to be able to drive half an hour one way to Michael's to purchase food coloring. So I just kept reminding myself, you are so blessed that you can drive one way, half an hour to pick this up. You have the money to put gas in your car. You have the money to go purchase this. Because you know what? We would have ended up with brown. That's not Frozen themed. Okay, so now let's get back into this. We're good now. We have everything. Let's get this mixed up and frost our cupcakes. So again, we are doing this purple right here. I think this is probably the closest to like Anna's dress in Frozen. So this is 20 pinks and 2 blues. So that's exactly what we're gonna do right in here. Believe me before about this dyeing your fingers? Please believe me now. I have a nail and fingers that are pink now from trying to open this. I'm just a mess today. And then it says 2 blues. So let's open the blue and do 1, 2. All right, now let's mix this up and hopefully this makes purple. Okay, I'm on my tippy toes because I'm not strong and I'm short. Okay, so this is kind of where we're at now. It's getting there. We have our purple. I think this is perfect. So let's go ahead and put both the purple and the blue in some piping bags and start piping. Let's go ahead and start filling our piping bag. So I just have a large piping bag here. I just get these from Amazon. If I can find them, I'll remember to link them down in the description box below. So let's start with the blue. So what I'm going to do is just open this up. I'm using 2 different piping tips here. I think I'm going to do the blue with this one here. I'm gonna stick it in my piping bag, kind of push it down, see how far it goes, push it back up a little bit, cut a slip if these would work. Okay, push that down in there, get rid of these. I just use a large cup. This is what works best for me. And then I just literally kind of fold this over so it doesn't make a mess, stick it in there, hold it over the cup. Push it in, make sure that my tip is down in there. And I literally just take it and plop it in there. And I just kind of push it against the side so I have room for the rest of it. Literally just kind of go like this, grab it up. See how it's not in there quite yet? So I just kind of shake it down. That's what helps me. And then literally just going to kind of push it down and twist. Okay, and then I have these little bag tie things. They're not my favorite, but they work. So I'm just going to throw that on there. Okay, so that's ready. So I'm just going to put that to the side, and let's do the same with the purple. One of each flavor here. I'm going to show you how I'm going to do both of them here, and then I will quickly do all of them. So I think the purple is going to be the chocolate here. So I have this, and I'm simply just going to get my piping bag as tight as I can. Make sure it's coming out this end here. Make it as tight up here as you can. And just simply, I'm going to make a rose. And there we go. There's one cupcake. And then same thing, we're just making a rose. There we go. There are two beautiful cupcakes. Let's do the rest. Okay, that's it. We made 24 cupcakes for a cute 2-year-old's birthday, Frozen theme. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. Please give this video a thumbs up. Please subscribe. It would help my channel so much. Thank you. Bye, guys.